Hello and welcome to Abnormal Mapping, episode 81. I'm your host, M, and with me is my regular co-host, Jackson.
Hello.
It's time for video games.
I love them.
I also love video games, even though I no longer play them.
That's why we love them.
Yeah, no, I love them so much more now that I don't touch them ever.
Could you imagine how... I mean, yes, we played God of War. It broke you. Everyone knows. So, yes, we could imagine how it would be if we were keeping up.
You're spoiling our Game of the Year talk already.
Oh, I'm sorry. We all read articles that spoiled it already.
Yeah. Game of the Generation. It's going to be your number one Game of the Year. It's going to be my number one most disappointing Game of the Year.
It's not going to win Game of the Year everywhere. Anyway, everyone's already forgotten it.
But you specifically called it Game of Generation, so obviously it's your number one game.
No, I think it was Games Radar that quote came from that everyone was putting around. And I think where it came from.
The shambling corpse of Games Radar.
Yes. Before we started recording this podcast, I said, wow, we've got to be on our behavior. This is our professional podcast.
It is our professional podcast. We're professionally talking about Games Radar.
We sure are.
Jackson, have you played video games in the last month since we recorded?
I've played quite a few video games in the last month. I've got really into Street Fighter.
Yeah, Evo happened to us both in turns.
Well, no. So Evo wasn't the thing.
Evo was the thing. Come on.
No, you playing Street Fighter was the thing.
Yeah, but then Evo happened, and then you got into Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, no. Like, I'm not saying it was nothing, but it was the possibility of having someone to actually play Street Fighter with that did it.
Yeah, but then you bought the Street Fighter I don't own, so I don't understand what you were doing.
Yeah, well, look, it's the one that works on PC and like, you should get Street Fighter 5 and join me in this hell. Yeah,
when it's on sale for $10.
Well, is it not on sale right now on the PSN store?
I don't know. Is it? I didn't check this. Did not check this weekend what the PSN sales were. Sorry to shock you.
I would get it there, because then you and Destiny can both play.
Well, yes, I would get it on PSN.
Anyway, Street Fighter 5 is a good game. I like it a lot. I've been having a good time trying to learn fighting games.
How's that going?
I mean, I had to stop to do a dissertation, so I've already fallen off the horse. But it's good. I struggle a lot with this stuff and with competitive games in general, so it's mostly at the moment a battle with my brain to not get like really depressed every time I get owned, because that's my difficulty with a lot of these kind of like games, is I just find them very mentally tolling, because in fighting games you just lose over and over again, and that's fine. Getting completely destroyed is actually fine. It's when you almost win and fuck up that is hard to do.
Just learn to take the L.
That's the hardest thing to learn.
You watch enough anime at this point, you should learn how you just like tearfully look up at the sky and think about how much better you're going to be next time.
But you can't always be better next time. Only one person can be better next time. The other person has to lose next time. It is the like truth of competition.
Eventually you will get good enough to beat the person you're against.
Yeah, but then I've become the thing I hate.
Well, that's fine. Most people do not have this problem with losing.
No, just me. So I made a good idea. It was a good choice for me to get into fighting games. But anyway, I went in knowing that and was like, I'm going to try to beat this. I'm just trying to be a normal person about playing fighting games.
Yeah.
And it's been going okay. I've been getting slowly better. I've been putting a few videos. I stopped doing the videos at some point because they had to go back into the replay mode and record them. It was taking fucking forever. I might record some ones when I get better, but then now it's kind of the same thing over and over again. I put those on YouTube, but at the moment it's just like I'm doing okay. I went into super bronze for a bit. I went back down to bronze. That's kind of where I am. I'm at that level of the rankings, as it were. I'm decent enough. I've apparently held over just enough knowledge for Street Fighter 4 that I'm not completely like bad and terrible. I'm bad at execution, but I'm pretty good for a beginner at like figuring out when to attack and what to like how to take advantage of openings, which is the thing I want to get good at. It's why I like Street Fighter 5, because it's a much slower game than a lot of fighting games. It's mostly about that. Execution's not that difficult. I mean, it still is for most things that are like complicated, but everyone has a few simple combos that you can get by on, which is what I'm doing at the moment and trying to get a sense of zoning and things. I can't do any of the like, punch into fireball into super combo that you are meant to start doing as you get good at the game. But in terms of just like playing matches, I'm having a great time. I enjoy playing with friends, and yeah, it's good. I did not expect to get so into it that quickly. I know you've been playing Dragon Ball has been your fighting game of choice at the moment.
So yeah, since we last recorded, I bought the Street Fighter Legacy Collection. I think we were talking about doing that last time we recorded this.
Yes.
Played a bit of that. Discovered I love Third Strike. And then got Street Fighter 4 because it was because Destiny was like, oh, let's Destiny has trouble with some of the inputs, especially in the earlier stuff. And I was like, let's get 4. It's well regarded. It's it's cheap. It has a ton of characters. It has the characters I like Elena, who are not in Street Fighter 5 for whatever reason. And we had a good time with that. And then Evo happened, and I was like, shit, Dragon Ball exists, like everyone else on the planet. And I got Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I'm having a great time with that. That game is perhaps the easiest of easy operation style games.
Yes.
There are 4 separate different auto combos in that game, basically, and everything's a quarter. So there's nothing more complicated than a quarter circle. But instead of being slow paced, it's everything happening all the time, always.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like bouncing off it, because it's very Marvel, and I never really got on with Marvel. I like when I can tell every action is intentional and happening. Dragon Ball has very like easy inputs and it's fun to get started, but you can get into a combo and it just goes and fucking goes.
That's not necessarily true. The auto combos are obvious to like spot and stuff. Like there's, I see where that game gets like serious in a way that like I don't know if I'm ever going to get to, but you get to the point where you're like, oh, this auto combo is not really cutting it. I need to like change it up a little on my own, pretty quickly.
That's cool.
Because I've only played like maybe like 6 or 7 hours of Dragon Ball, playing through the story. The story is the fucking worst thing in the world. It's just endless battles against like evil clone versions of the characters because there's a dumb plot conceit as to why you're fighting Yamcha for the 700th time.
Great.
And you go over this, you like go along this map, it's like a world map where there's like turns, and the more turns you take to get to the boss of each map, the boss levels up and is more powerful, but you get more experience for fighting higher level things, so you want to clear the map every time.
That's way too complicated.
Yes. It's a lot going on. And then the like actual story is just the most. We have all these Dragon Ball characters and we can do cutscenes, but we're not allowed to actually tell any story that is not the most basic side story thing in the world.
That's a shame. I mean, I don't know how you do a good version of that with especially the restraints and the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think you make a game like the Persona games, right? But they're not like Dragon Ball's not going to let them do that.
Yeah, no, they can't actually just like have a story mode in their video game.
Yeah.
Like, what even story could you tell that would be like? I guess it'd just be a kind of hangout Dragon Ball story.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like on some level I would have been okay if it was just another one of those we're going to go through the sagas again, because I never played any of those games.
Yeah,
it's better. It's better than endless clone armies.
They haven't done one of those in a few years. Like a Xenosaga is something new and all has original stories. I know it used to be like...
Excuse me, what?
What is Xenoverse?
Yes.
Dragon Ball Xenosaga.
Yes.
10,000 years later. Look, Xenoverse is its own thing, and you make your own character, and everyone likes those games a lot. Even though it's like because that's DIMP still, so that's the extension of like the Budokai games.
Yeah.
I assume those games will continue because those still sell. It's not like it's just fighters from here on out.
Yeah.
But they haven't done a game where you just go through the sagas in a while. No one remembers Burst Limit.
I don't even know what that is, Jackson.
I think it's the first 360 era one, where they all had it wasn't a Budokai Tenkaichi game, but it basically was, and they all had new names, and it was, I don't know, they made a lot of Dragon Ball Z games that I don't know anything about. So,
yeah, fair enough. There are a lot of them. I was watching a quick look of the Connect Dragon Ball game last night.
How is that?
Bad. It looks bad. The Connect
weird.
stuff is just like flail your arms like an idiot at the screen and 1,000 punches happen. It still looks better than that Jump Stars game that's coming out.
Oh, can we take a little
we
take a little moment
detour.
a little detour.
Reflect on upcoming video games. Is it called Jump Stars? Is that the actual name?
It's called Jump Stars.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it might be called Jump Force?
Jump
Because there's
Force.
that Jump Stars versus they have done Jump versus games before, is the point of Jump Force. Sorry about the typing noise and the thing, but yes, it is called Jump Force. Bandai Namco, by Chunsoft, doing another jump fighting game, which was announced with an incredible trailer that had Frieza fighting Goku, Naruto, and Luffy in New York, while Light Yagami watched on with Ryuk next to him. So everyone immediately went to, this is of course amazing and crazy. It's the most boring version of that. It's just an arena fighter where fucking Light doesn't even get involved because that wouldn't make lore sense.
Yep.
Because he's just like an extra.
Also, it's a Nightmare Unreal Engine 4 game, so it just looks like every fan game on YouTube ever made.
Oh, but like fucking Dragon Ball's an Unreal Engine 4 game.
Yes. But
so it doesn't have to be like this.
Dragon Ball is a lovingly rendered game created by people who frame watched Dragon Ball Z to get the moves down correctly.
Also, Dragon Ball had a budget behind it to the point where the other people in Arc, like the person who's working on BlazBlue Tag Battle, one of the producers on that, was complaining about how much money Dragon Ball got. Like, yeah, this game would be better if we gave us any fucking money. They was like, Dragon Ball now. Forget about BlazBlue. Forget who brought up their bread for years.
Yeah, look, I sympathize, but also Dragon Ball FighterZ is the biggest game on Earth. Like, everyone watched Evo. Yeah.
Yeah, Dragon Ball FighterZ, if it is big enough, could actually be bigger than Street Fighter for the foreseeable future.
I mean, it was bigger this year. It just wasn't.
I meant in a sustainable sense.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's going to go, but that could be a real thing, an actual threat. Because the fighting game scene is not like 5 because it's too easy for people like me. Well, I like it, but I get it. Yeah. And yes, so we watched this trailer for Jump Force, and it's just, it's so ugly.
It's really
no
ugly.
one looks like. I want the Dragon Ball FighterZ version of this, where it's all in black and white, and everyone has kind of their own penciling styles.
Oh my god, that game would be the most expensive version of this ever created.
And then their special moves go into the pastel colored special pages.
Yep, and the windscreens.
And the windscreens, yeah. And the already an infinite budget for the fucking, Monkey Fights Goku game. No one's ever going to spend that money. But the existence of Dragon Ball, causes me to imagine the perfect version for everything.
Yeah, the Hunter x Hunter Boy and Naruto are going to kick the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they sure are.
And
I'm going to be like, wait, the Hunter x Hunter guy can go kind of Super Saiyan? Sure, I guess he can. I didn't realize that.
I don't know. I've never watched it. Someday,
I thought he was just kind of traveling the world on boats. I thought that was also a boat thing, but not as boat as One Piece, which is the real boat thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, nothing more boat than One Piece.
Yeah. Nothing more boat than One Piece. Let it be known. Declaration is made.
800 chapters of boat. Yeah, boat party.
Boat party. Is it at 800 chapters now? How many fucking chapters of One Piece is there?
I actually think it's 900 right now.
Oh, that's, yeah.
They're
89
914
volumes.
or something.
I don't know what the chapters are, but 89 volumes.
Yes.
Ooh, that's so much One Piece.
When do I do that? When do I read One Piece, Jackson?
Currently on, I think 900 chapters, yes.
Yeah, I know. I looked at this the other day. 900 and
something. Okay, so you already looked at, I don't know. I was going maybe I'll read through some Amazing Spider-Man before that game comes out, but I was very busy this summer, so I have not done that.
Yeah. Do you think I pull the trigger on One Piece this year?
No.
Do I pull it next year?
Yes.
Okay.
You got a lot of manga you're reading. You got to get through Fullmetal Alchemist. You got to get through
I'm a quarter of the way through Fullmetal Alchemist. I only have 3 volumes of Yotsuba left, so.
That's true. You say I should read Fullmetal Alchemist rather than bother with any of the anime?
Yeah, it's shorter and it looks great. It's a really well done book.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good advice. Well, now that we're talking about anime, I guess
we should stop. Fighting games are good. Me and Jackson have actually not sat down and played a fighting game since we both got more into fighting games. Is the best part of this.
It is possible that when you get Street Fighter, we might end up doing that as a thing we do together.
Yeah.
For a cast or something.
You're just gonna kick my ass. You know that's
I'm worried that I've done too much on my own.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna beat you over and over again because it's not fun when you're not the same level.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe we won't. But I got an arcade stick. I did do that.
I got the same arcade stick for Destiny, so
I was like, it's cheap. It works really well. It feels good. It works on everything.
Yeah.
And Destiny is enjoying the arcade. The thing that's good about the arcade stick isn't actually the stick. It is the buttons. Is my take. At least for Street Fighter. If for any 6-button game, having all buttons there.
She uses pad for Dragon Ball because that's the most pad game ever built.
Yeah, like for something like that, I wouldn't care because I'm actually better. I'm more precise with a regular stick, and I can be faster doing the motions with just a regular regular analog stick because I use those controllers all the time. The thing I do struggle with is mentally going, okay, I'm going to do a medium attack. That's like a big ask when some of the attacks on the trigger, some of them on the buttons, and you have to. Whereas everything being laid out and there, it makes everything a much more even choice. That's my feeling on using an arcade stick. Anyway, that's the fighting game minute.
For now. I'm sure it'll come back around someday.
I'm sure it will.
There's always more fighting games.
There's always more games.
So we are going to cut to our second segment, which is unusually pre-recorded. Back when we thought we were going to have 2 of these this month. And that
I don't mean to shock you here. This entire thing's pre-recorded.
You know what I mean? We're cutting to a thing we made 2 weeks ago, Jackson.
Yeah, I know, but come on.
Look.
Coming to you live.
That's not what I meant. Don't be a jerk.
I was being a jerk.
You have to be nice to me.
I have to. Right, fuck off. End this podcast.
We'll be back on the other side with some questions and what we're doing next month. So listen to that. Enjoy the good video game, and we'll see you on the other side. Our game club this month is Ape Escape 2. This was suggested to us by a patron, Jackson, who is the lucky person who told us about this game.
This was suggested to us by Matt, which is Twitter user at Matt_Mikulski, who wanted us to play. We had a choice of games, didn't we?
I don't think so. I think it was just Ape Escape 2. You're the one who fielded all these requests, so I don't know the answer.
I'm going to look and check what the truth of this is.
Okay.
Yes, we did have a choice because I remembered what one of the choices was.
Okay, just give us the choices.
They were between The World Ends With You,
which I don't want to do.
StarCraft 2.
Why would you do that to us?
I'll play StarCraft 2. I don't give a fuck. Cane Lynch 2, Ape Escape 2.
You know what? I'd be interested in Cane Lynch 2.
Yeah?
I've played Anodyne. I don't really like it, honestly, so maybe not a good choice.
There you go, hot takes. We were like, you know what? Ape Escape 2, 3D platformer that we've never played.
Well, the problem is I played Undertale, and then like a year later, I was like, Anodyne is a game people talk about. I should play that, and it's just a worse, like, edgier version of Undertale.
Yep.
So, came out before Undertale. I recognize this, but going backwards is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were playing Ape Escape 2. This is known as Saru Getchu 2 in Japan. This is developed by Sony Computer Entertainment. Came out in Japan in 2001, in Europe and North America 2003. So you know I didn't play this because 2003 was when I was in high school playing very few video games.
Yep. You're free.
We are playing the version that came out on PS4. This inexplicably is the European version, which is important in that the names are the Japanese names, and it has British voice actors as opposed to the American voice actors. This is good because the American voice actors are the fucking Pokemon voice actors, and every time I look at this on YouTube, hearing Ash and Misty, and supposedly it's the voice actor Professor Oak, but he doesn't actually sound like Professor Oak, so that doesn't bother me, but specifically Ash and Misty fucking me up.
Really messes you up. Ash has to find the monkeys.
Yes.
Also, is that localization as full of like cheeky monkey banana puns? Because I can't imagine them with
I will
American
tell
accent.
you when we get to the very end, the last cutscene of the secret, like, ultimate ending has a different style of bad pun that I can't imagine made it into the European version.
Okay, wait, so you've only seen the American true ending?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I have not seen the true ending. Apparently, this is being saved for a reveal, so I can react on air.
Yeah, do you want to tell people about the plot of Ape Escape?
Yeah, the apes have escaped.
Yes, a little more than that, please.
So you play as Hikaru, who's a kid who works...
Jimmy in the US.
Jimmy in the US version, who works under the professor. He's just called the professor, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Who's the girl called? What's the girl called?
Natsumi. Or Natalie.
Or Natalie. Yes, Natalie, right. And the professor's on holiday, and they just, because there was an original Ape Escape, and continuity matters, they have since...
Yes, there was a different boy in that Ape Escape.
They have recovered all the apes and that, and the lead ape, who is called Spectre, who's like a dastardly white ape, has escaped. All the apes have broken free again all over the world. The professor's going to find out and be really cross. They have to get him back before he does, before he knows they've gone. So Hikaru gets to travel in the world, collecting all the apes, bringing them back. And that is the plot of the game. Eventually, there's something Spectre has a plan to use the lethargy laser in order to rule over the human race, because isn't that what you all want truly in your hearts? And then Hikaru goes, no, it's not, and captures him in a big net.
Also, Papachi's there.
Also, Papachi is the mascot character who goes around with you, and sometimes Papachi gets kidnapped, and you're like, oh no, Papachi, and then there's some sequences where you have to go bring back Papachi. That is
he's like a baby monkey with wings. It's very weird.
He's the fuck. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna completely forget what the fairy is called in Zelda. You're not going to help me out? You're not going to do this? You're just going to let me flounder here, are you?
Yep.
The Zelda fairy, the one.
Yeah.
What? Come on.
Her name is Navi because she provides the navigation in the game.
My brain was going to Midna, and I was like, Midna's not that. That's something else.
Midnight's Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess, the little thing with the hat.
Yeah, she has the giant helmet with the giant ghost hand. She's from the Twilight Realm.
The Midna was the only word in my head that entire time.
Fee? Do you remember Fee? She's the sword girl. From Skyward Sword.
Do I remember Skyward Sword? No, I don't remember anything with Skyward Sword. I've never played that game.
The King of Red Lions.
Okay, so that's enough about Zelda. The Apes of Escape, you have to go get them back. It is very refreshing in how little anything happens. There's very little plot, very little going on. It is a PS2 3D platformer, and you are going to go collect the apes, and that's what you do for a sequence of 26 levels, and that's it. That's the game. They have a bunch of mechanics. You get a bunch of... the main way of interacting with the world is that you move with the left stick, and then you use the face button to select your tool, and then whichever tool you select, you control with the right stick. It is all a game about the dual analog. The first Ape Escape, I think, launched around the same time, if not.
Yes, it was. So they were developing the first game, and they had the idea, and then they saw a meeting about what the DualShock was going to be, and built this to be the game that used the DualShock.
Yes, it is a game that exists for that control scheme.
Yes.
So it's wild. Everything that can use a stick does use a stick. And these tools include just your basic baton that stuns the monkeys, and then you have the net that captures them. You have a catapult that shoots things at them, but then you have a remote control car that you control entirely with the right stick while moving yourself with the left stick. You have a banana boomerang that you throw and then can hold in place to attract monkeys to it. You have a bunch of different tools of varying use and impressiveness, just because there's a whole bunch of them. But that's basically the progression of the game. You go through the levels collecting the monkeys, and then when you hit a certain number, you move on to the next level. You can then go back after you finish the game and collect more monkeys, but you don't have the option of staying in the level to collect monkeys, so I never went back. Once you collect the monkeys, you are kicked out and it's on to the next one. So I never collected more than the monkeys I was asked for.
I went back a couple times, but then I realized clearly it wants you to go back after you have all the gadgets.
Yes.
Because I'd go back and still be missing one or two. And then I never did that because I beat the game.
Yeah, because I assumed, given the progression would be around how many monkeys you have. It's not. It's just straight levels.
Yep.
So it actually doesn't matter.
Except for the final, the true ending, you need all the apes.
There is a bonus for getting all of them, but it's not you can get to a level and not have caught enough monkeys.
Yes.
Which is the thing you always expect from this kind of thing. Like if
I
you
do want to point out that like I say apes because the game's called Ape Escape. You're catching monkeys. The monkeys are not apes. I get why you went with this as your title, but they're monkeys. They're not apes. Apes are not monkeys. Please,
it's not called Ape Escape in Japan, so
I know.
they have to deal with
Saru
this.
is, I'm pretty sure, the Japanese word for monkey, so it's just monkey get you too.
The monkey get you?
Yes.
That's good as hell.
Yes.
Get you some monkeys.
But yeah, so this is really interesting because this is a series that I never really played because when I played PlayStation, I was mostly playing RPGs because that's who I was at this era, and a couple fighting games. And I was like, oh, kids game, because I was 17 and kids games were repellent because every 17-year-old's a giant dumbass.
Sure are.
And so playing this game, I was amazed because this is just one of the strongest 3D platformers I have ever played.
It's really good.
The levels are really short and compact. The mechanic of swinging your gadgets with the right control scheme while it makes the camera suffer. It's from the era where all the cameras are bad in all these games anyway, so that doesn't really matter that much. And just running around solving light, where's the ape hiding in this room puzzles is remarkably nice to do. I really, really love this game. I was not expecting to.
It's really good. It is. In a lot of weird ways, it is like a very small scale Mario Odyssey. The
thing it reminded me of actually was Ratchet and Clank, but instead of
yes,
because it has a bunch of weird gadgets, but instead in service guns. Of puzzle solving instead of shooting them. Yeah.
The reason it was like Odyssey for me is that that game tries to bring this pace of you run around the Mario level and then you find a thing and then you solve a quick thing and you get a star, hooray! And I feel like the way that this game meets out monkeys is very similar, but a lot better than that game.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense. Yeah, the getting all the monkeys in levels is very much like getting enough stars to power up the Odyssey.
Because you go through the level, but you don't it's not like a 3D platform where the goal is to progress through the whole level. You get through the level and then you come across either a monkey or more likely a hole in the wall, and you're like, hole in the wall, that means RC car, or a magnet thing, that means I have to use my big magnet gadget, etc, etc. And you use the correct tools to solve the very light puzzles, because they're always very short, because there's 300 of these monkeys in the game. So no one monkey is that complex, and they're just very light, very satisfying to do on their own as you explore through the spaces and get the monkeys. It's very cool. The rhythm of it is very nice.
Sorry, I'm back.
You back?
Yes, there was a bug. I had to squash it.
Understandable. Did you put it in a giant net?
No, I did not. So yeah, there's just part of it is that the gadgets, because they're all on the right stick, have just a great physicality to them.
Yes.
Where sometimes you just run around and eat shit because you can't swing the sword well enough to hit the goddamn monkey, and you just feel like an idiot, and it's great.
Yeah, there are parts where I'm like, oh, does this make the game bad or not? But the image of you chasing a monkey round and round in circles with a massive net as the monkey's basically comes in for punch you but is mostly laughing at you and running away.
Yes.
Oh, it's incredible.
The imprecision can be frustrating, but in exactly the way I would imagine trying to catch monkeys would be in real life.
It's just like catching monkeys in real life. You'll imagine you were there.
Yeah.
So in that way, because it's all around the right stick, and because it's from an era that I was not around for, it was like a reminder that the right stick wasn't it was a new thing at a point, right? You had to design for the stick in a way that it isn't the stick is just used for camera or sometimes for some actions, but it's not. This game is about the stick. It centers it as a thing you do. So it reminded me of Wii games in a big way, because.
That makes sense. You could see a Wii version of this really easily. Also.
Oh, absolutely. You would have to auto aim everything, and it would be it wouldn't be as complex because the stick has a precision of movement that you can just never get with a Wii remote. Yeah. But you just slashing waggling a Wii remote back and forth trying to catch a monkey, you can see that easily. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you were tweeting about how nice it is just have a game that's got levels in it and you clear the levels. And it is remarkable how little games are like that anymore.
Yeah, it was weird. So I was thinking that and tweeting that as I was listening to last week's Bombcast, and they were talking about Dead Cells, which is a game I don't like very much. I played it, and maybe it's better now, and I think the combat's okay. But my complaint with it was that you literally go through the same levels over and over and over again to slowly grind out your stuff, and I get that that's the appeal of those kind of games, but it's anathema to what I want from like a sense of progression in a game. And I remember listening to the Bombcast this week, and like one of their words of praise for it was, this feels like a complete video game. Like, it's not a endless service money thing. And like, I'm not dunking on them. I'm more saying that like this perception of what a complete game has shifted so much that to me, playing all these old games, that feels like the new treadmill. But to like, if you're actually in what new games are in a wider sense, that feels like the more complete and honest version, right?
Yeah.
So like the shift has been like huge in a way that like you have to kind of step back to see how much it's changed. Because very like a lot of the most successful smaller games are either like story things, or they are like a rogue. If you're going to make it a mechanics focused game that doesn't have procedural generation, you're basically wasting your money. Like that is common. This is what people like give as advice, right? Like you hear a lot of people talk about making. It was Gunpoint that went to procedural generation for his next game, right? What's it?
Yeah, but also like look at how people are talking about Hollow Knight because that game has like a meticulously designed world.
Yeah, and but that game was like 2 people working on it for like 6 years.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
That game took an intense amount of crafting, and it paid off for them, but it's not going to pay off for everyone. That requires like luck. And execution that it just doesn't come. Like I would not advise anyone make a game like this, even though this is the type of game I prefer to play. I get why everything is a roguelike now, but
I hate it.
Yeah, no, I hate it too, but I understand how this happened.
Yep. Yeah. It is just it's like PS2 is a era that I mostly miss because I didn't even get a PS2 until the PS3 was out. And playing this and looking at like the games that I have gaps in, like I've never played a Jak and Daxter. I know you bit that bullet and told me not to, but like the gaps that I have are like weird to see given the genres I like.
Yes.
Like these games existed, and I can't believe it took me this long to play Ape Escape because I love it. It's like Mario 64, but on the PlayStation, it's good. I think I like it better than Ratchet and Clank.
I mean, it's about like light puzzle solving and monkeys and not shooting a bunch of people. So
yeah,
like I've played the first Ratchet and Clank, half of it. I want to play more of that series, but it's not like this game is more complex. In terms of its puzzle design, like Ratchet and Clank is very light. Go through, see what the wacky gun does puzzle or platform.
When I went to I specifically am thinking of like A Crack in Time, which is a game in which there's a lot of space stuff. So when you get to the moon in this game, it looks a lot like a very lo-fi version of Crack in Time.
Oh right,
and
yeah.
Crack in Time has more like explicit puzzle rooms, but it doesn't gel together as well. Like by the time you're in space here, you were just like when you get into a specific set of like challenges, you go and you set up your gadgets just right to be able to have the propeller and the water spray and the net enabled in order to get the monkeys. And it's really great to have that stuff set up and be able to just pull it out, and it's remarkable. I like it a lot.
It's really good. Like that, the final moon gauntlet is so good.
Yes.
Here's a true. So I was down to 1 jacket and half a biscuit.
Yeah. Because your lives are jackets and your health is biscuits, because it's a fucking weird game.
Importantly, 5 lives is a cookie, 1 life is a biscuit. They don't localize it like that. Even in the UK version, it is still all called cookies. But I did notice this in terms of its iconography. I had to see what Japan said about this. Anyway, because I lost like 4 lives in the where was it, the big rotating pole. Like you climb up one of the final rooms, and then you climb up the outside of the room, and then you go back into the room, and there's a rotating like last pole to climb up before you climb into the hole. And I barely got through that, and I was dead. And I was like trying very desperately because there was no enemies around to like get it, because they drop jackets or health fairly regularly when you need it.
Yes.
But there was no enemies around to get it back, and I had this one last platforming challenge and made it to the final boss with literally a single sliver of health. It was very satisfying. Immediately died, but I got a jacket, then immediately died. I killed the first mook.
Yeah.
Got a jacket.
The bosses, when you are low on jackets, will always drop enemies that spawn jackets, thankfully.
Which is good, because if you run out, it like kicks you back to the level select, which is fine.
I've never actually got a game over.
I got 1.
Okay.
Which is, it's very frustrating because it kicks you back to the level select. But so long as you have a jacket, then it basically respawns you right there with whatever checkpoint you're at. The checkpoint's very generous.
Yeah.
So just bear in mind, always be looking for jackets.
Yeah.
That was I'm glad that went well, because that could have gone real bad.
I also appreciate that they did this because while I really love this game, I don't think the bosses are very good.
Bosses suck.
Yeah. Because they just turn into like a weird flailing mess as the boss like runs around you and you wait for it to become vulnerable and then rush up to hit it, and then it does that over and over again until it's dead. They take too many hits. Please use the Nintendo metric of you hit it 3 times and it's dead, not this weird 5 times sometimes.
Yep. 3 times and then 5 times for the second form.
Yep. The bosses are mostly this group of 5, what are they called?
5 freaky monkeys.
The 5 freaky monkeys that are all color-coded like a Sentai team, who are mostly inconsequential other than the yellow monkey, which is a weird, grotesque, like a blob monkey.
Yeah, bit weird. So, game's fine. Game's just very normal video game, right? And then suddenly this like incredibly gross shit shows up and you're like, yeah.
The weird clown sumo monkey.
The weird clown sumo monkey that like... They're clear. I went to a guide and the guide was like, "Is it a boy? Is it a girl? It's disgusting." And I'm like, "Great, thank you, good. Cheers, IGN." Did you see that guide as well?
Yes, I did. Okay. Yes, I did, because I was looking. I didn't know how to fight that boss.
The big when he was massive.
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly. Yeah, that was the first line of the guide. You're like, "Great, thank you, good." It's not the best.
No, I assume they pulled that from like the instruction book or something. I can't imagine IGN doing that. Maybe I could. 2003 was a long time ago.
It could have been either way. Maybe that's the year of... I think that's the same year of the classic Sonic Heroes manual, where it's like, Dr. Eggman is a feminist.
Whoa, no, I don't remember this at all.
Wait, you don't know that Dr. Eggman is a feminist?
No, I've never heard this before.
Hang on. This has to be... this. Yeah, it is from... Eggman is a romanticist, a feminist, and a self-professed gentleman.
Oh, no. Why did they nice guy Eggman?
They are nice guy, as well as having an unfeasibly high IQ of 300.
Oh. Eggman really is into your intelligence. He wants to know what you got on your ACTs before he will date you.
Yeah.
Even though he's 35. Everyone really doesn't understand what his deal is.
But that is, yes. No, I didn't know you didn't know about the Eggman Sonic Heroes manual bit.
No.
That's gonna, yeah, that is, it's because it's so wild, right?
Yeah.
Different time, 2003.
Yeah, so you go, you fight all the bosses. Most of them are fine except for Yellow Monkey, who's a mess, because you fight a giant version of him because, I don't know, he ate all the mystical bananas and turned giant. And then you fight Spectre, and then the game like basically gives you the like most paltry ending you've ever seen in the entire world.
Yeah.
With credits, and then it kicks you back. It's like, oh, Spectre's escaped again. We need to find him. Go catch monkeys until we can locate him, which is catch all the monkeys, all like 300 of them, I think.
Now you have all the gadgets, except one. There's one gadget I never got because I assume it's like a nice bonus gadget at the end.
Yeah, it's like a weird it's like a boxing glove on the end of like a gun or whatever. They like shoots out and hits a monkey.
Oh, so you can just like really freeze a monkey.
Yeah.
So it takes away the thing of having to run around in circles after a monkey over and over again, I assume?
Yes.
If you use it properly? Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think it's like a guaranteed stun where the sword quickly does not become a guaranteed stun in that game.
No, oh god, getting some of those later monkeys, Jesus.
I mostly didn't even bother stunning them. I would just run up and flail my net wildly and hope for the best.
Absolutely. Then there was a point where I was like, hey, maybe if I run around with my RC car, I could stun him a bit, but no, it wasn't. So I'm like going through all these gadgets, trying desperately to find one way to stop this monkey from like launching 4 rockets into my face.
Yes, the rocket ones are really rough.
Because the rocket monkeys will like launch the rockets, and which is when they stop, so it's when you have the best chance to hit them. But if you don't do it in the exact timing window, the rockets will hit you and stun you out of your swing animation.
You know,
it's a nightmare. Monkeys.
Anyway, you get all the monkeys, and then they send you right back to the room where you caught Spectre, and that's where he is again for this final boss fight or whatever. And there's this big cutscene where he gives a speech about his plan to enslave the humans or whatever. And then in this version, the one I found on YouTube is from America. Ash Ketchum, right before the battle, goes, "Now it's time to spank that monkey."
One more time.
Now it's time to spank that monkey.
Okay.
Which is a pun that I could not imagine the European localization doing. Maybe, I guess.
Is it after the boss fight or before the boss fight?
No, it's right before he cuts into the boss fight after he says that.
All right.
And I was like, excuse me, and then there's a boss fight, and then it ends with you catching all the monkeys. Then it cuts to the guy from the first game showing up, and he's like, I'm here, and I'm here to see my cousin, who is the character you play as. And the professor's like, well, we finally got everything settled down, and then the spaceship with your character crashes into the lab again,
All the monkeys escape?
Releasing all the monkeys again, yeah.
Waka waka.
Yeah. Which is a big nothing. But hearing Ash Ketchum say "spank the monkey" may be worth checking out on YouTube. Just look for true, final boss fight Ape Escape 2 on YouTube.
Ash Ketchum says, now it's time to spank that monkey.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucked up. I don't know what to tell you, Jackson. This is just what I heard today.
Okay, I have now found I found it. I found the British version. He doesn't do that, but it's funny in how much he strains to not do that.
What does he do?
He yells in the very British tree voice, "I'm going to spank you, monkey."
Okay.
After we're done, I have to find a clip of that. Ash Ketchum.
It's specifically because it's Ash voice that really fucks me up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we played the inexplicably British version of this game.
Yeah. I have no idea why that's the one in the American store, but
yeah,
it is.
I don't know. Also, a weird thing about this game is that this game was then adapted into a cartoon series, 38 2-minute episodes that aired on, gosh, what was it? They aired on some website, I think, if I remember correctly. But they're like Flash cartoons. You can just go look at them. It aired on Nicktoons.
Okay.
Also, they aired in 2007.
What?
Or not 2000, 2009, even worse.
What?
Yes, there are 38 episodes of 2-minute cartoons aired on Nicktoons, aired in 2009, based on Ape Escape 2, because Jimmy, Spike, and Natalie are there, Spectre's there.
Wait.
It's just kind of like things about this.
Does Jimmy still have Ash's voice, even though Ash hasn't voiced Ash?
I don't know. I didn't watch any of these.
Okay.
You know.
I guess I'll watch that later.
You know. I'm pretty sure that this is not Ash's voice actress.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely not.
I was gonna say, I was like, it's 2009. Like Ash wasn't even Ash anymore.
Yeah.
So when you stopped watching Pokemon, because Ash wasn't Ash.
Yeah, that was me. I was really unemployed at that point in my life. So.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah. So I guess that's Ape Escape. This is great. I can't believe that I've never played this before. I feel like such an idiot. Also, there's Ape Escape stuff in Metal Gear Solid 3, but not the version of 3 that we played.
Yes, there's a bonus mode. I think it's Subsistence that is like called Snake versus Monkeys, and he collects the monkeys.
Yes.
I'd love to play it. Don't have that. I used to have a copy of the PS2.
Could you emulate it?
I could, and I did once. I did once to try it, but I don't have that. I was like, I'll delete that. I can get that anytime. Owned.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I kind of want to go play the first one. There's 3 of these, right?
There's 3 of these. I assume 3 kind of sucks. Because that's like a 2005 game. So my imagination.
There's like PSP games also.
How do you do that on the PSP?
There's also a Move Ape Escape game.
Ape Quest PSP game. Okay. I should bring back. And they shouldn't. They can't. They're too busy making fucking God of War and stuff. Sony doesn't have any space for anything fun.
No.
They got rid of Whatum. They let it go.
I use the face buttons to attack in the PSP game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know. You use a vacuum cleaner to gather the monkeys, so it probably just is wider in what you do.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get how you do that. Like, it wouldn't actually change the game that much.
Yep.
You could easily, you could make a version of this game that used buttons with the same design. It would just, you'd have to open up some of the windows a bit on, what works, what movements do what.
In the second there's a game that, there's a PS2 game called Saru Get You Million Monkeys that only came out in Japan, where you pick a team. You're either team Kakeru or team Spectre, and you just try to gather monkeys as much as possible. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
This cover is incredible.
Yes.
Look at all these monkeys. was planned to be released in the UK, but never came out. Rude.
Yep.
Well, there we go. That's Ape Escape, I guess. We don't have like too many like deep thoughts other than it's really good. I miss these games.
Yeah, they should make another one of these.
Yeah, they never will.
Yep. Go YouTube Ape Escape Unreal 4 engine tech demo. It exists, actually. It's not very interesting, though, because it's clearly just someone put the PS2 model in a Unreal Engine environment.
Boo.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you need to start playing the wave of low-budget Unreal Engine. We tried to make a Mario 64 indie games.
Oh, Hat in Time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Unboxed or whatever it is.
Don't know what that is. Sounds bad.
What's that? There's that other one, the Pose? This is one of those. I don't know.
Ukulele. I played literally 45 minutes of that and deleted it and swore to myself I would never.
Never.
I'd never been so instantly repelled by a platformer like that.
It's rare because you were convinced, you are no platformers. You might be one of the people that likes it.
Yeah.
No. Alas.
Yep. If you've got questions, you can send them to podcast@normalmapping.com. We have got some questions about Ape Escape. Jackson, do you remember when we played Ape Escape 2?
No, I do not. It was 7,000 years ago.
Well, here's some questions. These three come from Matthew. Number one, what is the best monkey type? This is actually a four-part question.
What is the best monkey type? In the game or in real life?
In the game.
Okay, just regular monkeys. Monkeys with the pants, probably.
Monkeys with the pants, that's cool. I like the monkeys that, like, hide and stuff, like you can't see them.
Those are good monkeys.
Yes.
There's the monkey that was, like, in a painting. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's a good monkey.
I like that one. The way they get, the way they get into gag logic with the way the monkeys hide is always good.
Yep. Best member of the Freaky Monkey 5.
Oh, God. Well, not yellow.
No, yeah, not yellow is the right answer.
Who was there was yellow. Who's the gross one? There's
the one who goes fast. There's the girl. There's the main guy, and then I don't remember who the other one was. Honestly, mine is the girl.
Probably the girl because I like her ridiculous pop star thing going on.
Yes.
The guy who goes fast is fun as well.
What is your favorite gadget?
Ooh, that's. I mean, like the net. Like, what do you like? There's a lot of gadgets in that game, and I didn't love particularly that many of them. Just the effect of all of them was nice. I do like the RC car a lot. I think that was a very nice, cool thing.
I like the hula hoop a lot.
The hula hoop was good. It took me so long to work out how to use it that I didn't end up enjoying it that much.
I used it to capture monkeys a lot.
I kind of did, but so the thing I didn't realize is that you could keep turning it to stay running.
Yeah.
I thought you just got a single burst.
No.
So I charged up standing and then shot at some monkeys. When I realized I could just use it to catch up with monkeys, it was much easier.
Yeah.
But I spent a long time in that game not knowing that.
Fair enough. Favorite thing inside the gacha box, if you used that at all?
Oh, I hate the gacha box so much.
Really? We didn't talk about this in the other
Oh,
episode.
I hate the gacha ball because I'm like, I just need some lives. And the game is rubber banded enough that you will get some lives if you're like on one life. But if you want to stack up a nice like load of them for going into a particularly difficult level, you cannot do that. It will like very rarely give you more than 3 or 4 lives.
Okay.
So I just ended up like burning through because you have to stand, you have to let the thing fill, you have to let the gacha thing roll, you have to hit the gacha thing, and then you have to go through the animation. So getting one thing takes forever, and I would just like deposit hundreds of cookies in there. It would take so long. I don't know. The pictures were fun. Like it was, as a concept art goes, it was better than the stories. Which...
I played almost all of that rhythm game that you unlock out of the gacha box. So
I never unlocked the rhythm game.
Really? Once you get far enough, you unlock those mini games. You go to the mini games. There's like the climber. There's like a weird. It's not good, but there's like a weird rhythm style game, and there's something I don't even remember what the other one was.
I tried. I was playing. I was like unlocking things from the gacha box. I did it less as the game went on because I was like, this is giving me nothing. This is useless. And then would just use it to get a life or two and then leave.
No, I always dumped all the coins I had into it every time.
Oh, if you did it every time, it'd be much. I saved them up thinking that would be less stressful, and then just going through hundreds and hundreds of cookies.
No, just every time I go through like 200 cookies is fine.
Okay, well there you go.
Question 2 of these 3-part questions.
Wait, okay, that was all part 1.
Yes.
Okay, well we got time.
What is the best non-Mario 3D platformer?
I haven't played enough to know.
This is in the conversation, I think, for me.
Yeah, this is definitely up there.
So my short list is this. It's Ratchet and Clank Crack in Time. It's Prince of Persia Sands of Time.
Yep.
It is Tomb Raider Legend. And then I think I started to become hard-pressed to pick anything else.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be this then, because it's this or Tomb Raider Legend for me. Yeah. From those, like, Prince of Persia's close, but it's not as good as this or Tomb Raider.
Banjo-Kazooie I like a lot, the original first game.
Yeah, I need to play that.
It's literally just Mario 64, so...
Hey, you know what I love?
Yeah, Mario 64.
You know what would be great if there was a game that just kind of ripped that off exactly.
Yeah, well, it exists. It's good.
They should make a new one of those.
They never will.
Yeah, I guess this would be high. I need to play the Ratchet and Clank games, play the future games at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that.
And then question 3, Papachi's kind of fucked up, huh?
Yes.
He's weird. I don't know what is he an angel? Is he a monkey? Is he a baby? Is he all 3?
Ask not these questions of the Ape Escape lore.
Fair enough. And then we have one question from Aceling. This also comes with amazing Gmail fill-in responses, for the record. This question is, thoughts on the Ape Escape mask in Metal Gear Solid 3? Which I think we mentioned is not in either of the versions we played.
Sorry, I yawned on the podcast. That's so rude of me. It's not in any of the versions we played, so no, I've seen it. It's funny, I guess.
Yep.
What an incongruous thing. Like, Ape Escape and Metal Gear did not go in my head together, but I guess at one point they were both thought of as like big Sony franchises.
Yep. The responses under this thank you Gmail are, love it, I like it, and looks like fun.
Looks like fun.
The most passive-aggressive of the answers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we thought of those. That's it. Those are our questions. Of course, send us questions. They don't have to be about the game we're talking about. They can be about anything video game related. We will answer them. We love questions. No one sends us questions.
We just had 4 questions from 2 people.
Yeah, but I would love to have enough that we'd have to do an entire episode that's just questions, but we never get that many.
Oh man, if we had a question episode, that'd be so easy. We wouldn't have to do any work.
Yep. I mean, the actual truth is answering questions is way harder than just talking about a video game, but...
That is true.
The work for the video game stuff is all done before we sit down to record. This part's easy. The questions are the other way around.
Fair.
That's it. Next month, we are playing the Chronicles of Riddick, Assault on Dark Athena, which... I'm going to admit, bit of a problem if you want to play this game in 2018.
Yeah, it's not. They took it off all the stores.
They took it off all the digital stores. It used to be on GOG, used to be on Steam. I assume you could pick up a used copy for prior consoles for relatively cheap. Did it ever come out on PS3 or is it just 360?
Oh no, that came on PS3. I'm fairly sure.
So you could do that. If you were resourceful, I'm sure you could find a way. Life finds a way to get that on PC in 2018.
Well, there was a GOG copy for a long, long time.
Yes.
That you could obtain legally. So you just need to find someone else who has the GOG copy, I guess.
Yeah. It's weird how easy it is to distribute GOG copies of video games sometimes. Not that I would know. I've just heard rumor on the internet. Twitter.com.
Twitter.com. Yeah. DRM free.
Yep. So that's what we'll be playing. So
it did come out on PS3. It came out on Mac. So there you go.
Wow. If you play games on a Mac, I'm sorry.
Shout out.
But please maybe play that game on a Mac and write in and let us know how that goes.
I bet it doesn't even work anymore. Isn't Mac getting rid of their architecture to go completely in-house or something? I saw a lot of like tech Twitter that I follow getting mad at this. And I'm like, what, well, you still had your hat in like Apple's box to not fuck you all over every 5 years? Like, what's wrong with you?
I haven't followed Apple News in a long time. I'm continue to wait for the day after to replace my phone and figure out how that works now.
Well, you just get an Android phone. It sucks and it's fine.
What if I just get this exact phone again? But new?
I mean, if you were able to do that, then I would do that. But it
yes.
You know,
the last iPhone with a fucking
headphone
normal port. Yes.
Just sighing again.
You know.
That's it.
That's it. We're done. Thank you, everybody. Plugs. Jackson, do you want to plug our various premium podcasts today?
I would love to plug our various premium podcasts. We have two of them. We have The Great Gundam Project, which is at patreon.com/abnormalmapping. In fact, they both are. That's where the premium content lives. But The Great Gundam Project is where me and Em go through Gundam, the entirety of it, 2 episodes a week. We have done a year of this. That means there's a whole full backlog of content for you for just
51 episodes because we took 2 weeks off.
51 episodes, yeah. And it's a great podcast. It might be our best podcast, honestly.
Yes. We are currently on Double Zeta, and we are also watching Armored Trooper Bottoms, if you would like to hear us talk briefly about Armored Trooper Bottoms every week.
Yep. And we also have VoIP Life, which is our behind-the-scenes podcast. That is for $10 a month. It is a chill podcast where we literally talk about whatever's on our mind and give some insight into what's going on behind the scenes. It's much less structured, and we don't like go play a thing for it. We don't have like form. But if you are starved for content of us chatting about bullshit, you can find it right there.
Yeah. We talk about video games most of the time on there, actually.
Yeah, because it turns out when we are bereft of anything else to talk about, we'll probably talk about video games.
Yep. So that's it. You can find me on Twitter at EM_being. You can find Jackson on Twitter at headfallsoff.
No, you can't.
You can.
No, you can't.
You can. I was like, okay, I'll give them your private then.
No! I change my private a lot. I rebrand as part of a bit, so.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Jackson's there. Jackson is the content creator now, so.
This tweet has 2,000 retweets and 11,000 likes. The one about being tired.
I tweet about being tired every day. No one ever retweets it.
I got this tweet that's about being tired and then reading Twitter. It's a very relatable tweet, so I've had like infinite quote tweets from very normal people. One of them was like the director of digital, like a digital director for like the conservative campaigns and stuff, and I was like, fuck you, you don't get to like my tweets.
I can't believe that like all that happened is you fell into an algorithm and now your life is hell. That's literally what I feel like has happened.
It sucks.
Because you blow up bigger than accounts with way more followers than you.
Yep. It's weird.
Yep.
Twitter.com. Maybe you've heard of it.
So please, if always, if you tweet at Jackson, be nice to Jackson. If you tweet at me, you can be rude,
be nice to me.
I'll be rude back.
Be nice to me also.
Yeah. I said that. Be nice to Jackson.
Yeah, but in your mentions too.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, never tweet anything mean about Jackson. If you tweet mean things about Jackson at me, I'm going to be really mad, because only I'm allowed to be mean to Jackson.
Yes, because you're mean to me all the time, but if someone else does it, you get mad.
Yeah, no, it's stepping on my turf. I'm very territorial. Thank you, everybody. Go to our Discord if you haven't. We have a great community there. We talk about all sorts of stuff. We've been having some new people lately. It's been nice. So you can go to the website to check that out. Of course, that is abnormalmapping.com. If you care about this podcast in particular, go to bestgame.club. thebestgame.club. I really should leave the on when it's the URL. So
Yes, that's how URLs work.
yes, that's all I've got. See you next month. Goodbye, everybody.
I can feel it coming over me. I feel it all around me. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. It's my destiny. There's a tide beside of me. It's waiting to come out now. No matter what, no matter how, I know I'll make it through somehow. 'Cause when the road feels so long, I'll still be holding on. I'm gonna keep on going. I know I'll be strong. Yeah, indestructible. I won't let nobody break me down. Indestructible. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Indestructible. Gonna make you gonna keep on going. Indestructible. The last man standing. I'm waiting for whatever. I'm never giving up. Nothing can break my spirit. 'Cause it's indestructible. Yeah. Can't explain, it's incredible. The strength I feel inside me. Nothing is impossible. I know I'll find my way. Through the storm, through the darkest night. Whatever comes, it's alright. Not gonna turn around. I'm ready for the future now. And when the road, I'll still be holding on. I'm gonna keep on going. I know I'll be strong. Yeah, indestructible. I won't let nobody break me down. Indestructible. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Indestructible. Gonna make you gonna keep on going. Indestructible. The last man standing. I'm ready for whatever. I'm never giving up. Nothing can break my spirit. 'Cause it's indestructible.
Flo Rida, Exile, nothing can break my spirit. Hey, nothing can break my spirit. My spirit is too strong. Indestructible, nobody's taking over my throne. Under my situation, no making do it alone. Built from the ground up inside out, so I last long. The last man standing on the planet gone wild. Flo Rida meet adversity, making it exile. There's never no emergency trouble, I just smile. Don't even bother hurting me, feelings is in the cloud. Too hard for me to reach if I could, and would it matter? No helicopter plane or some new infinity ladder. I was born to conquer pain, I'm on point with it like a dagger. I feed on hardship if it's there on top of my platter. So many times I heard danger loud as a bell. Kept on the ground telling myself that I can't fail. The bottom line, my spirit is powerful, not frail. It's all of me, can't break it, I'm loving it, oh yeah. Yeah, nothing's impossible.
Nothing is impossible if you really want it. And I really want it. Not gonna stop no matter what. No, yeah, this time nothing can hold me back. No, nothing can break me down. My spirit's indestructible.